Scottie Pippen dropped one of the wildest hot takes on his former teammate Michael Jordan a few weeks back on a podcast that has a lot of people talking. I dropped a video talking about Scottie's career without Jordan. It got some mixed reactions, but ultimately it showed me that these extreme anti-Jordan takes that Scottie has may have turned some fans away. So are these negative opinions towards Jordan ruining his legacy? I mean, it sparked sports media to go full attack on Pippen. From Tim Legler, Dan Patrick, Marcellus Wiley, to, of course, Stephen A. Smith. Let's hear what they had to say.
Completely shocked that Scottie Pippen would take it to this extent. And look, he's had a lot of comments about MJ, particularly since The Last Dance and the documentary, and he felt very disrespected in the way he was portrayed in that. And I guess, turns out, never really felt like maybe he got enough credit for those championship teams. I disagree with that, first of all. I think he's gotten all the credit he deserves from those teams. But he has certainly taken this whole thing with Michael Jordan personally to such a level that now he's saying just ridiculous things. It's a ridiculous thing to use those kinds of words to describe Michael Jordan.
I've seen horrible basketball. Michael has played bad basketball, but horrible, that's where it goes. I mean, it just feels so personal with Scottie. I mean, Scottie missed out. He did, certainly financially. I don't think any player failed to capitalize more than Scottie Pippen did on his greatness and the contract he signed when he went, to the Houston Rockets. The documentary did not help out. Michael did not compliment Scottie. Even said that, that was one of the worst contracts ever signed.
So the question everybody wants to know is, who agrees with Scottie Pippen on this one? I'm going to tell you that Scottie Pippen doesn't even agree with Scottie Pippen. I think he exaggerated his analysis. It was hyperbolic for one reason. Because Scottie feels shorted by history.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you all that Scottie Pippen was picked 5th overall. I think in the 87 draft, if I remember correctly. 3 years after Michael Jordan was in the league, Scottie Pippen first averaged 7 points his first year in the league, 14 points his second year in the league. We all know that Scottie Pippen was a great player. We all know he's one of the greatest players to have ever played the game of basketball. We all know that he's an all-world defensive player and he's a 6-time champion himself. There's nothing to take away from his greatness as a player. But he was second fiddle for a reason. Because anybody with eyes, doesn't even require 20/20 vision, by the way, knew that there was Michael Jordan and then there was everybody else.
So here you have it. Some of sports media and their opinions. And in my opinion, there are two reasons that these odd takes by Scottie can kind of damage his legacy. First off, it seems completely one-sided and personal. Mike doesn't seem like much of a social media guy, and he's definitely not one to jump on different podcasts or sports talk shows to discuss anything. So the likelihood of us hearing anything from Mike is pretty slim. So this all sounds like old man yelling at the clouds. The fact Marcella said that likely Scottie doesn't even believe what he's saying lets you know that people are looking at these wild opinions even deeper. Now they're looking at Scottie's personal life and the fact that his ex-wife and Jordan's son are an item, making Pippen look bitter and just plain salty for someone his age. Or was it his portrayal in the Last Dance documentary? And was that the ammo he needed to change his tune on Mike? It just seems like something flipped and he's gone full attack mode in recent years with not much in the way of anything coming from Jordan and his camp. The second reason, because now everyone puts Scottie's career in a microscope. Scottie making it seem like him showing up in Chicago is what completely changed Jordan's game from being a horrible player to a champion. From all I've heard, Jordan mentored Scottie as they progressed to become a championship duo. Now analysts are going to break down Scottie's faults and flaws and magnify them to the fans to show that while he was a great basketball player, he didn't make Mike great. Argue all you want, but Mike was great before and was pretty good after Scottie. I've already spoke on that in other videos, but just had to reiterate. Scottie did help make the Bulls a better team. There's no question about that. Did he make Mike a better player? Jordan was Jordan as soon as he stepped into the league. Through some personnel changes, he learned to tweak his game to complement team play rather than to do everything himself. And all of that put together gave us the legendary Bulls of the early through late 90s. If Scottie's going to keep this stance, then he'll likely not be looked at very highly by many. If he has a change of heart and just tells us why he really has ill will toward Mike, the most probably understand and just hope some kind of olive branch can be extended to make things right. Either way, they made the 90s some of the best times to be a fan of the NBA, and I'd rather remember those times than these personal hot takes. Hopefully, Scottie gets it together and moves on. And as for me, unless he drops another wild attack, I'm moving on as well. So, yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this content, like and subscribe. And I'll try to be back soon with some more content. Appreciate it.